Hi, this is Tom. Welcome to my channel. The colors of perception. How our internal state shapes reality, nature, and God. Human perception is not a pristine window into an objective reality. Rather, it is a kaleidoscope colored by emotional, moral, and spiritual hues. Our inner state, our fears, joys, beliefs, and virtues act as a filter through which we interpret the world, nature, and even the divine. Ralph Waldo Emerson captured this idea elegantly in his essay Nature, writing, "Nature always wears the colors of the spirit." Similarly, Psalm 18:26 suggests a mirroring between the human soul and the divine. With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the froward thou wilt show thyself froward. Our perception of reality is not merely a passive reception of external data, but an active projection of our internal landscape. Drawing from philosophy, psychology, and theology, let's examine emotions, how emotions, beliefs, and moral character shape our experience of nature, our understanding of God, and ultimately our capacity for truth. The natural world, vast and indifferent though it may seem, often becomes a canvas for the human spirit. A storm can inspire awe in one person and dread in another, not because the storm itself changes, but because the perceiver's inner state imbues it with meaning. Emerson's assertion that nature reflects the spirit finds resonance in romantic literature, where poets like William Wordsworth saw the sublime in landscapes as an echo of their own transcendence. In Tintern Abbey, Wordsworth describes nature as a nurse and guide, suggesting that its beauty and lessons emerge in dialogue with the observer's soul. Psychology offers a parallel insight. Studies on mood-congruent memory demonstrate that emotional states influence perception. A person in despair might notice only the barren branches of a tree, while someone in love sees its blossoming vitality. This projection is not mere illusion, but a co-creation. Nature provides the raw material, and we supply the lens. Theologically, this aligns with the idea in Genesis that humanity is tasked with naming and stewarding creation, implying an active role in shaping its significance. However, this interpretive power cuts both ways. A saint might see God's hand in a sunrise, while a cynic sees only a chemical reaction. A hardened heart might perceive wilderness as chaos, while a reflective soul finds quiet communion in the same solitude. Nature, then, is not a fixed entity, but a mirror reflecting the contours of our inner world. If nature mirrors the soul, so too does our perception of God. Author Ty Gibson offers a striking metaphor. He once looked into a glass pane and mistook his own reflection for God, only to realize the image was shaped by his own features. This encapsulates a profound truth. What we see in the divine often reveals more about ourselves than about God. Psalm 18:26 underscores this reciprocity. God appears pure to the pure and perverse to the perverse, not because God changes, but because human character filters the divine encounter. Philosophically, this echoes Immanuel Kant's distinction between things as they are, noumena, and things as they appear to us, phenomena. Our experience of reality, including God, is mediated through the structures of our perception, which are shaped by character and conditioning. This explains why fearful hearts may perceive a wrathful deity projecting their guilt onto the heavens, while those steeped in pride might imagine a God who rubber stamps their ambitions. A person consumed by power might conceive of a domineering, vengeful God, while one whose soul is softened by grace might recognize God's love beneath even the hardest providences. History bears witness to this. The medieval mystic Julian of Norwich, despite living in a plague-ridden era, saw God as a tender mother whose vision shaped by a soul attuned to love rather than judgment. Conversely, Jonathan Edwards' fire and brimstone sermons reflect a colonial anxiety as much as a theological stance. Likewise, religious fundamentalism often produces a deity in its own image, harsh, punitive, and exclusivist, while sentimental theologies risk reducing God to a mere affirmation. In each case, divine reality remains constant, yet human perception distorts or refines its image. The heart, then, is not merely a passive recipient of revelation. It is an active participant in shaping how God is known. If our internal state molds our perception of reality, then the path to truth lies not in adjusting the external world, but in transforming the self. This has radical implications for personal and spiritual growth. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus argued that we cannot control events, only our reactions to them, a sentiment echoed in Christian teachings on renewing the mind, Romans 12:2. While anger clouds our vision, the world appears hostile. When grace takes root, it reveals beauty. However, the transformation required is not merely emotional regulation, but moral clarity. A conscience burdened by deceit may project suspicion onto others, while integrity fosters trust. This aligns with Jesus' teaching in Matthew 5:8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Spiritual traditions across cultures recognize this principle. Buddhist mindfulness seeks clarity through detachment, while Christian contemplation pursues alignment with divine love. Our perception of reality, nature, and God is not a static photograph, but a living portrait painted with the colors of our inner state. Nature reflects our emotions and beliefs. God mirrors our character, and truth emerges as we refine the self. However, this does not mean that reality is purely subjective. There remains an objective truth, yet our ability to grasp it depends on the lens through which we look. This leaves us with a thought-provoking challenge. If the world we see is shaped by the soul we cultivate, then the pursuit of truth begins not with telescopes or doctrines, but with the quiet, courageous work of looking within. As Emerson and the psalmist suggest, to perceive rightly is to live rightly, a reminder that the universe and all its mystery gazes back at us through the lens of our spirit.